And here we are.
I keep forgetting that we have that. Can we shout people out?
Shout people? What do you mean?
So who made that video for us? That little CP Nix video?
I think it was Ornan.
Who?
Ornan Anthony, the guy who did our logo.
Ornan Anthony. He made that little video for us. If you guys need what is he, graphic designer, I'm guessing.
He does all that. He's done all my logos. I've got 3 companies. He's done all my logos.
Yeah, he's good. Every time I see it, I'm like, I really like that a lot.
Yeah.
Hi,
he actually just did what we asked him to do, which is crazy. Like, we just said we were imagining like a butterfly. We want to represent change. Throw the logo in there somewhere, and he sent us a couple drafts, and we liked them all, and then we picked the one we liked the best, and that's where we ended up. So yeah,
it was a simple process. So
really, really simple and cost effective too, because we ain't got no money.
Yeah, and still don't. So welcome. That will continue. Welcome everyone to Club PK, the place where we talk about the secret lives of pastors' kids. Welcome back. Welcome back. We're glad to be back. How you doing, Paul?
I'm struggling today, to be perfectly honest with you. It's not a great day.
As are probably many of us, I'm assuming.
It's not a great day.
Bit of a struggle. I mean,
I don't want to talk too much about it. I want Sheldon to be able to jump in, but because Sheldon's going to find a way to make it. Well, he's going to Sheldon it, so it's going to be good. But I talk about this a lot. I talk about what's happening in the world a lot in my classes, because I think one of the most important things I can do as a teacher is to help them see how what they're doing in class is relevant to their real lives, right? So. Mm-hmm. So we're thinking, for example, not for the sake of thinking. We're thinking so that we can process reality better. All right. We write, not just say we wrote something. We're writing so that we can think through our thoughts and present them clear, all that kind of stuff. So we spend a lot of time talking about what's actually happening in the world. And we're talking a lot this semester about pretty much the two sides of the issue. And obviously it's much more complex than that. But our system is flawed in that we only have 2 options, really. Right. So, but it's not a black or white issue, but we got to kind of vote for one or the other, So, I'll say this. I'm disappointed, but I'm not surprised. I'll say that. Yeah. I'll say it that way.
Yeah. Disappointed.
What about you? How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. I'm feeling a little under the weather, but it's Wednesday. So it's today Wednesday?
Today's Wednesday.
Okay. Yeah, so I get Wednesday and Thursday confused almost every week, actually. I'm always disappointed it's Wednesday and not Thursday, because that means I have more week before the weekend. But it's fine. I'll make it through it. But I'm doing all right, considering. I'm doing pretty good. Yeah. I just got back from a cruise over the weekend, so...
How are you going to be doing all right when you just got back from a cruise? How does that work?
Because I'm not feeling well. I already told you. I'm under the weather.
Right. You're under the weather. Okay. I guess that counts as a reason. Yeah.
The cruise was great, and I felt fine on the cruise. It's just when I got back, naturally, my body was like, "What is this?" So,
what is this land? What is this?
I don't understand what's happening. And actually, I still feel like I'm on the ship sometimes. I don't know if you haven't been on a cruise, have you?
I have been on a few.
So like a few days after, I'm still kind of wobbly a little bit. And I didn't feel it while I was on the ship, but I feel it now that I'm off. But it's interesting. Getting better as well. Yeah.
So it's easier for you to transition from land to the ship than it was to transition back from the ship to the land?
Yes.
Interesting.
Like, I was in the library the other day, sitting still, typing stuff, and I was like, whoa. I'm not moving. Something's moving in my body, but I'm not moving. So it's interesting. Funny. Yeah, I'm doing pretty well.
All right, good. All right, so you want to just jump right into it?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do the thing. We have a guest today. And he is special. He's a special guest. Got a special guest. Sheldon Kennedy. I think about this sometimes because sometimes I think I have a really, really strong group of really close friends. And just occasionally I'll just ask myself the question, like, who's rank or whatever, who's best, but I never really know the answer. But the thing about Sheldon that's weird is that I very often don't think of him in the friend category. I usually think of him in the family category, right? Mm-hmm. So if I'm thinking through my closest friends, I automatically eliminate John and Brian.
Yeah,
because we're blood related. They're not my friends. They're my brother and my cousin, right? Usually, I eliminate Sheldon too in the same way. right? I'll be like, okay, John, Brian, Sheldon, they don't count. Who else is right? So it's like, it's family. It's just family, And to kind of illustrate that, I went to visit him over the summer at his job, and he walked me around the building and didn't say friend one time. He just kept saying, "This is my brother. This is my brother Paul. This is my brother." Just shaking hands. This is my brother Paul.
Understanding.
Yeah.
Because you never had a conversation about that, I'm guessing.
We've never talked about it.
Yeah. And now that it's interesting to me. I wonder, and maybe we can ask Sheldon about this once he comes on in just a second, but I wonder if the similarity in your experiences as both being PKs helps you be closer. And this isn't to say that you're not close to your other friends as well, but there is something different about growing up a PK that when someone else grows up in the same way, you don't have to explain, like they just understand.
Right.
And maybe that has also influenced your brotherhood. I don't know.
Perhaps. Yeah.
Well, let's ask him.
Yeah, let's find out. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Sheldon Kennedy. We don't have an applause. We don't have an applause.
No needed. I bring my own. I bring in my own joint. I mean,
cool.
Me and the Brady's. Brought it on there.
Yeah, let's start there. Let's explain. Let's talk about the Brady's. So what's that about?
Let's do it. So I've been using this. I've been using this backdrop for a while. This is like, I don't know, man. I don't honestly. I don't have an answer for you today with that.
That's perfect.
These people are who it is, man. I grew up watching this show, and had I known how crazy and controversial the show was, I probably wouldn't. But it's apropos for today, considering what happened yesterday. But anyway, let's go.
Welcome, Kennedy.
Nice.
Welcome, Kennedy.
What up, fam?
Let's actually start with the question you just heard us talking.
Yeah.
I'm interested in thinking back about when you met John and Paul, when you guys started being friends in high school. Or did you even think about this at all? Because also, when you're in high school, your brain is definitely not fully developed yet.
So not at all.
It's actually a long way to go.
Not at all.
So do you think that your similar upbringings affected the closeness that you have with John and Paul?
So I think there was a couple things that we had to consider. I think we had to consider, obviously, both being PKs, but I think us moving from New York to a place such as Massachusetts at the time helped us, right? We were kind of thrown into a situation that was kind of really uncomfortable for both of us, for all of us. So it was wonderful to find somebody. It was myself and Cameron,
right?
And Tarek was there, but we had it. It was just different. Myself and Cameron, and then y'all came. So it was just like, yo, word, let's do this. Y'all idiots. I'm an idiot. let's have some idiot fun. Yeah. So it was definitely something about that. But I think just us having similar values. Here was honestly the most creative thing. So y'all know I'm Jamaican by birth and blood and all that. But sorry, that what I knew about y'all came to my house, y'all ate everything that was at my house. I went to your house, I ate everything at your house. You know what I mean? Yo, I don't know if we're gonna talk about this, but I knew your parents' food shopping schedule.
And we knew y'all's too. We knew,
right?
Like, hey, I don't remember what the day was. I'm gonna make it up, but hey, it's Tuesday. That means it's bagels. Let's go.
Yo, I knew when moms was coming in the house on Thursday, what was gonna happen. We would help her to the kitchen, take out the turkey slices, take out the cheese, make sandwiches, go outside. Yo, so we grew up. We had a relationship that was
nice.
You don't have to go there, baby. No. We grew up really, really well.
John says he knew the day that Prosage would enter the deep freeze. Prosage. That's a blast from the past. But that was the thing, though. But that was the thing, because it wasn't just. Cause I think it's a relevant question, Claire. Was the PK thing the thing? But I think that was part of it. But it wasn't just that. I think one thing we connected over instantly was you said the New York thing.
Yeah,
but,
absolutely.
We're fans of these. We're fans of the same team, and also we're not in New York, so like we're the only ones. Like it's just us.
Right.
This is Celtic territory. We like the Knicks.
Yeah.
This is Patriot territory. We like the Giants. You know what I mean?
Right.
This is Red Sox territory. We're like the Yankees.
Big time New York
rivalry so deep. It's like, you know what I'm saying? So like that was part of it. You know what I'm saying? Same age, obviously, same age bracket. Our parents are in the same position. Like there was just so many similarities.
Yo, my mom's a teacher. Your mom's a teacher.
Yeah.
Dad's a pastor.
So many similarities.
It
was like, and sometimes we like the same girl. But just so many.
Wow, Sheldon! Wow. Was that okay?
He did that like, yeah. So I mean, it was just so many things, things in common. You know what I mean? So it was like
I could tell who won that feud.
What'd you say, Claire?
Sheldon's response, but anyway.
What'd you say, Claire?
I could tell who won that feud.
We both married other people, so I don't think
Facts.
There's other people we married.
I'm almost 19 years strong, baby.
That's crazy, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then see, that's another thing. Like and obviously we have the group of friends is bigger than just us, but there was a level of you have to be down with my friends, even with the women we ended up with, right? So it's like
facts.
Like with Elaine, Sheldon brought her, but yo, you got to come meet her.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not just gonna go marry her. You got to come meet her. You got to come. We got to get along. Whatever. Same with Taina. Come by. Like, yo, let's go. I remember I looked at a picture the other day. We were still dating. I don't think we were engaged yet. And I brought her up to Maryland.
Yep, I remember that.
And you guys were there, and Gabe and them weren't living there yet, but they were up there for some reason. Mm-hmm. Remember that picture of all of us? I think it was in the
house. It was at Lois's house.
Yeah.
Yep.
So just like y'all got everybody was married except me, right? So I was like, yo, this is perfect. You come meet the whole crew and let's see how this works because you're marrying into a family. You know what I mean?
And I firmly believe that, man, because till this very day, if you look up and down the scale, even our kids are friends. You see what I'm saying? So it's with us, it became deeper than just this little fake joint. We like I said, Claire's my sister, Paul's my brother, John's my brother. You know what I'm saying? Your parents is my, that's fam to me, right? So but to look at our children, like Addie runs after Darius every day. That's my cousin. That's my cousin. You know what I'm saying? So to me, and she runs after Cam. Same. And the other day you sent a picture. Theo and John are blood cousins. But to see that, you know what I'm saying? John is what, 19?
John is 19.
Yeah.
19 years old, and then you have Theo. We have a long generation of family that we've grown and cultivated. Woo in New York, with his About It Before, so this is a big family, man. Mm-hmm. And to know how it all came together is crazy.
So as we talk about this, I don't want to stray too far from what we're talking about, just because I think it's interesting, and I think I want to discover. Now that we're adults and our brains are fully developed,
for the most part,
we're thinking back on things, and
we'll find out if that's true or not in a minute.
Yeah, about to.
I really do want to know, the more that we talk today, how much of our PK experiences not only affected your friendships to each other, but also your friendships with other people who maybe aren't around yet.
For sure. For sure.
Or if there's any connections or anything like that. But what did you enjoy, Sheldon, about being a PK? What did you enjoy about it?
That word I don't like.
What did you
appreciate?
So I'll tell you why I don't like the word enjoy.
Okay.
because I guess it becomes subjective. Because did I really enjoy the process?
Right.
I endured the process.
Mm.
Right. I more so and now that I look back on it, now that I'm able to look back on it, I've learned to accept it. I accept the process of being a PK. I think initially that joint was hard, man. That joint was hard because you know I know a lot of people deal with this, but I think PKs in particular realize that there are 1,000 eyes on you as a kid, but there are 0 eyes on the children that is causing bad problems in the building, right? You over here, your child over here setting the whole church on fire, but you looking at me for cutting my fingernails? Come on, man, get out of my face with that.
Right.
Come on, get out of my face with that.
Standards aren't the same.
No. So what did I ultimately? There are perks to being a PK. Okay. Perks such as I get food early in potluck lines.
Yes.
Hallelujah. That's only if the potluck is good. Then that's okay. if the potluck is whack, put me in the back.
Exactly.
Yeah, it cut both ways.
Definitely. So you know,
is that the end of the perks? That was the last.
Yeah. No. So
in your list?
No. So yeah, it is because I think everything else felt unfair, right? I hated being treated differently, and that's probably what it is. I guess there are perks, but it all matters how you look at it. As an example, we can go anywhere, right? We can go anywhere. John, you're right, man. One perk. We can literally go anywhere, and we are recognized.
Yeah.
And by the way, Claire, I appreciate what you do by putting Clarice.
Yeah.
You dig what I'm saying? No. So our names, besides being the presidential last names, have weight more than we recognized for years.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, people would disregard who I am until they heard my last name.
Correct.
Yeah. And because of that, you know, I guess that is another perk. Just the truth, right? Do I think Bobby and Leighton would say the same thing? No.
So let's us
talk about
how many brothers you have, and tell us where you are in like the line of siblings.
For sure. I have 2 older brothers, Bobby and Leighton. I am the last of 3 boys that were born in Jamaica but raised in New York, which is the whole thing, right?
How far apart are you guys?
We're all three years apart. So Bobby's 3 years older than Leighton, and Leighton's 3 years older than me. Yeah.
The youngest.
Yeah.
And that's something that you have in common with Claire. That's something that I kind of wanted to explore a little bit.
Ooh,
how do you think, how do both of you, the young, because I'm a middle child, how do both of you as the youngest think your birth order impacts perhaps your perspective on the issue of the being a PK?
Okay, should I go first, Claire?
Yeah, so you go first. You're the guest.
Okay, here we go. We saw mistakes up close and personal. Am I?
Sometimes we're sitting right next to the mistake.
Sometimes we're sitting
until it went away.
Right. So we saw mistakes up close and personal. So what we did was that we're not doing that, but we're not going to give up any information. We are literal vaults.
Yeah.
Because we're not going to deal with this. We'd rather run away and be by ourselves than be in the midst of this stupidity. Now, people may not realize this about me, but they may look at my personality. Shell likes being in the mix. That's a farce. I'm doing that for y'all. That ain't for me.
Yeah.
I'm doing that's my coping mechanism.
Yeah, you're playing a part.
Oh yeah, because I look at me in the middle of these Brady's. I'm playing a part of Alice.
Right.
I'm playing a part of Alice right now. I'm in the middle. Right. So check this out.
It's also interesting that Alice is the one that, it's not like Greg or Mike. It's Alice. That's funny.
Alice is missing, right? So for me, I saw things happen to my brothers, that were said to my brothers, that were said about, why are you as a PK doing this? That I was like, yo, y'all can miss me with that, man. Y'all can miss me with that. And so I took that as an opportunity to just bounce. Like, as a matter of fact, I was the first one to move away from my family. Yeah, and it was because I did not love my family to death, but I did not want to be I wanted to figure it out for myself.
Yeah, your own identity. Yeah,
yeah, I needed that. Like, sort of the first time I moved away wasn't on my own volition. So I was requested to go to Jamaica for college, because being in the United States at the time was not to my best benefit.
You said the United States. Can you be more specific?
Could I be more specific?
Do you feel safe being more specific?
Oh, of course. So I was doing stupidness in high school, man. I was.
Were you alone?
Huh?
Were you alone in your?
You know what, Claire? Sheldon's the guest. We're not talking about my shenanigans. We're talking about Sheldon. Sheldon is the guest.
I'm just asking questions.
Claire trying to treat this joint like therapy, son.
He's targeted. I feel targeted right now.
So no. Again, coping mechanisms are things that happen, right? So when in high school, I wasn't necessarily, I was good, but yeah, I'll move to the next.
That happened a couple of times, right? Because it happened to us too, where we were in a particular scholastic environment.
Yeah,
and all of our parents at the same time were like, "This ain't working," and pulled us out, and we ended up going to different. And I think they did this on purpose too. Went to different public schools.
Absolutely.
And I think they intentionally didn't send. We lived in the same city. They did not send us to the same public school. And we ended up, John and I ended up having to drive like half an hour every day to get to school.
Yeah.
Where did you take the bus? I know it was school right by your house. When you went, right? So they sent us to different schools. They pulled us out of that environment, and then in college they even went a step further for you and pulled you out of the country to another. But again, I think you were talking about that's deep.
Yeah.
But you were talking about the idea that you had to get away from your family in a way to kind of establish your own identity.
Yeah.
Did you feel something similar, Claire? Did you feel like you had to get away physically in order to be yourself or become yourself?
I don't think so. My pulling away was an emotional pulling away, not a physical pulling away. This is the only time now I've been this far from my family. That's true. It just happened, and I'm 40. So, and I don't think I've tried to let the Holy Spirit lead my moves. I have, because they've all been him. Because a few times I moved places I didn't want to go.
Right.
But I think my pulling away was more an emotional pulling away. But I did feel I needed to distance myself in order to feel like myself, which feels a little different than find myself. But maybe they're the same. Maybe they're the same.
So I think for me, and I 100% agree. I mean, a lot of it was emotional. But I think there were certain expectations that I just couldn't. I never felt like I could achieve. Right, I couldn't achieve these expectations of doing it the way that everybody around me expected. Like, as a PK, there is a trajectory. At least one of these children is going to be a pastor. At least one of these children is going to be a teacher. At least, I mean, so the question is it going to be you? Is it you? This is not an altar call. That's not what this is. That's not what this is. My life, dude. Come on, man. So here's the interesting thing. We naturally think pastorally, meaning that we we assess certain situations and we break them down as our father or our mother has taught us to break them down, right? So people look at that and they automatically assume, because you're able to assess certain situations as a pastor does, that means you're going down this path.
Right. Right.
Yeah. Automatically, right? Oh, you think like your dad. Oh, you think like you must be going into the ministry. No, I'm going into computers.
Right. As far away as possible.
As far as, yeah, I mean, absolutely nothing that deals with it, right? So for years I ran full speed away from this thing. Now ask me where I am now.
Where are you now?
Working for the church.
But not working for the church.
Not as a
No, I'm not a pastor, but I do work for the division now.
Yeah.
And that was, you know, but that would have never happened if I stayed in everybody else's trajectory for me. Because
so you kind of had to get away in order to get back to what you felt like you should have been doing in the first place, maybe. Perhaps. Yeah,
but there's more to it. Right. Okay. So you know, I don't want to lose sight of your initial question. Your initial question is, how did it affect me being the youngest? Yeah. So the initial question being that how did this affect me being the youngest? So Bobby didn't want to be a pastor. Leighton didn't want to be a pastor. Leighton was a nurse. Right. So the obvious choice is, hey, this young one.
So it's almost like the mantle is passed to you, and now it's your responsibility to do it, kind of thing.
Automatic. It's automatic. It's automatic that it had to be me. So I was like, no, sir, I am running. Right. So, and the thing about it was, and this is true for many of us, I'm a storyteller, right? Which sometimes translates itself to somebody that can over exaggerate everything.
Make it interesting.
Oh, no.
It's a literary device. It's called hyperbole. It's
called hyperbole. It's very deliberate.
Yeah,
we know the truth, but we know how to tell stories, and pastors use hyperbole a lot. Mm-hmm. So because I was a good storyteller, you know, it was a natural thing for people to say, "Hey, yo, why don't you
go do it up front?
Go offer that as a sacrifice to the Lord." So I didn't want to use my skill set that way. Now, I honestly wish, man, during the time when we was in back then, I wish there were certain avenues that were opened. Like I said to you before, you know, our avenues were very small. We had pastor, we had doctor. These are on the approved list,
right?
Okay. So this is the pastors on the approved list, teachers on the approved list, doctors on the approved list. Lawyer became cool on the approved list only if it was a lawyer of a certain type. Mm-hmm. Outside of that, I don't know much. You know, therapist wasn't like high on the list at that point.
Was it? It just became a thing recently.
Right.
It's new.
We know you were allowed to do therapy recently.
Right.
But so if I had known, I would have went more into the media and cinematography space right from the break, because that's who I am.
Son, I've been thinking that for like the last maybe 5 to 7 years or so. I've been thinking I should have studied film straight out of high school.
Yeah,
I should have studied film and gone to film school. Not that I regret it.
No,
20 plus years I have as a teacher. You know, I've built a career. I've been, you know, I've had some of my students appreciate the stuff that I've done, whatever. So I'm not saying I regret it. I'm just saying, if I had it to do over again, I think what you're saying, it kind of resonated with me. Just the idea of the thing I'm trying to get into is what I wish I would have started with.
Right.
Yeah.
Trying to break into film. Now I'm in my mid 40s. I'm trying to break into film, and there's some opportunities, and we might be successful in doing it. But imagine if I had done this at 18 instead of trying to figure out what I wanted to do in college and all that kind of stuff. You know, so
absolutely,
definitely some something I feel. But see, your experience then is different from Claire's, because like you said, your older brothers didn't want to go into the ministry, so then the mantle kind of fell to you.
Yeah.
Claire and I both benefited in a way from the fact that John didn't want to go into the ministry.
Right.
So the oldest of us went into it. He's the next John Nixon. Great. It's off of us.
Yeah.
Right. Like
no pressure. No pressure.
We have a little bit more freedom to kind of do what we want to do.
No pressure.
I'd argue that I never would have felt that anyway because I'm a girl.
Okay.
And women in pastors wasn't a thing.
Yeah, that's true.
So I never would have felt that burden. Now I felt the teacher burden. That's the one I felt.
Unbelievable. Love it.
I felt the teacher burden for sure.
Okay.
That's the thing that I ran from.
Yeah.
Wound up doing anyway.
I remember that. I remember telling you, I remember almost making you do it, as a matter of fact. Yeah.
It wasn't you who made me do it. It's the Holy Spirit who made me do it.
Yeah, that's true. Obviously.
I literally couldn't find any other job. I couldn't find any other job. And then I was offered an adjunct position and very reluctantly took it, like very reluctantly. And then when I started, I was like, oops, like I should have been doing this the whole time.
Yeah. Oh, wow. I'm actually quite good at this.
Yeah.
So I think the principles of what we're saying are the same, but mine was just the teacher side. And I think it was because of my gender.
And you know what? I think you're 100% correct on that. You know, we sometimes, I think that I aspired so much to please my parents when I was growing up that I was willing to shut down some of the things that I knew I was naturally good at. And I think I may have given them the idea, and this is just me being truthful. I think I may have given them the idea that I wanted to be a pastor when I was a little kid, probably when I was like 6. Nowhere in my teens, but when I was 6. So so I think they went with that. Went with that. You know what I mean? Prior to me getting baptized, I was like 7 years old when I got baptized. And I think that you when you first get baptized, my dad baptized me. Fantastic experience. You know what I mean? As I was going down, I think he must have said, "Yo, this is the one." Dunked and held him a little bit extra longer under the water.
You need some more baptism.
You need some more baptism. But I think during that time I was definitely like, "Yo, this is what I wanted to do." But I think I could have accomplished, as Paul said, if I had gone into what God has ordained me for, has established me for earlier. I think I would be so much more happy. I would be different now. You know what I mean? My happiness is what it is right now. My happiness is what it is. But I not only was I fearful, I didn't want certain things to come down on my dad. I didn't want certain things to come down. I didn't want to seem like a disappointment to them if I decided to go to Hollywood, because that's a big no. You know what I'm saying? If I decided to be a writer that didn't do everything that is according to the Adventist church, it would be wrong.
So we're gonna take a break here in just a minute, but before we do, I want to ask this question: how much of what you just said do you feel like came from your actual parents versus came from the church at large? Or was did you kind of infer that and nobody really said it to you directly? Just this idea of you shouldn't go into, let's just say Hollywood in particular, like you shouldn't go into Hollywood. Like, did your parents give you that idea? Hey, don't do this thing. Or was it like the church gave you that idea? Or did you kind of impose that on yourself based on what you thought the church might say?
I think a combination of two, indirect. Okay. It was a combination of both. And I love my parents to death, but I think there is a combination of things that you're dealing with. So again, culturally, like I said, being a Jamaican, there are certain things that are very important. Pastor approved, doctor approved, teacher 100% approved. You know what I mean? Like if you go to Jamaica right now, yeah, teacher,
right.
What? Yes, our pastor, come. That's the vibe, right? If back in the day, if I said I was a filmmaker, it'd have been like, yo, you're in Hollywood, I do them things.
Yeah,
So
it's Sheldon.
Right. So that was part of it. But honestly, some of the stuff was preached, not by my dad, but some of this stuff was preached about individuals that did go into into the creative space. And you gotta remember, this is late 80s, early 90s. But it's not only your Christian walk, it's actually your what word am I looking for? Oh yeah, are you a guy or are you a guy? Excuse me?
What does that mean?
So they thought that if you were in the creative space, you had to be gay. That was just there was a lot of stuff that was associated with that, and that was not the truth. You know what I'm saying? I like to write, I like to sing, I like to do all these different things, but a lot of people thought, if you go into Hollywood, you're gonna be into some wildish.
And you're all three of you are musicians. You and your brothers, all of you are musicians.
Yeah.
Really good ones.
Yeah. Leighton, I'll tell you about Leighton, man. That's one of the baddest cats in the world, man.
Leighton is. I want to get him. We're gonna get him on here. That dude is dumb. Like, I mean, I don't know what his problem is. Like,
one of the baddest musicians, one of the baddest saxophone. Honestly, one of the baddest saxophone.
And he'll tell you. I hit Leighton up periodically. As a matter of fact, when I talk to Leighton, most often when I reach out to him, I'm asking him about music. Yo, you got anything new? You know what I'm saying? Send me. And now he's to the point he drops something. He just sends it to me because he knows I want it. Like, dude is foolish.
Yeah, he's.
But Leighton, from the three of you, correct me if I'm wrong. He's the one who spends the most time as an adult, just kind of practicing and sharpening and making sure that's
the most
part of his output. So it's less of a hobby for him and more of like a he's like a semi-pro almost, because that's not a full-time job.
No, he's actually he's a clinical therapist.
Yeah,
but so clinical nurse. He's a clinical nurse.
Right.
But yes,
but he does that like it's like a side gig almost.
He's always he always playing somewhere. He's always doing, and you know what? You love it because you see now he's the empty nester. Can you believe that?
Wow.
Empty nester.
You guys are old.
He's an empty nester, man. So you one of the things I appreciate, my parents always made us we grew up with music. Quick story. Now that was the other part that drew me to y'all. Music. There was a song that your mom taught me that I never heard before. Your mom taught, and we sang it one day. It was "Someday I Shall Hear God's Call." we're just calling from the. Yeah, I mean, so when I first heard it, I was like, okay. So, and when we sang it, I was like, okay, there's more crossover in our love and a love for music, and knowing that your parents grew up singing, my parents grew up singing, so probably there's something normal with pastors and pastors' kids, but remember earlier where I said one thing I appreciated. There's another thing I appreciate about being in PK. My parents instilled music in us, and Leighton, all of us benefited from it between writing, because all of us write music. All of us, we study it. We are in love with music, and it helps. So
yeah,
that's what's up. All right, let's take a quick break.
I'm nervous.
These bills.
I'm nervous.
Y'all, Jay-Z said, y'all don't know my expenses. You know what I mean? I got my bigger plates and more baggies. Like we gotta. So here we go. This episode of the PK Podcast is brought to you by Water Into Winery, the first winery where you can choose biblically theme-based water and wine.
Unsure what to serve at your next dinner party? Stop by the Last Supper room to sample wines that pair well with roast lamb and unleavened bread, served from a wicker basket.
Going to a friend's wedding but don't know what to bring? Pop into the wedding reception room to see what wine goes best with the smell of pure nard in the air as the bride washes her husband's feet with her tears and dries them with her hair.
Meeting a woman at a well or leading millions of Jews through the wilderness? Come see the Room of Living Water to taste fresh water from a rock recently struck by Moses' staff.
Mention the PK Podcast, that's PKPODCAST, to the Roman centurion at the Iron Entryway and receive 40% off your first case of water or wine if you can prove you're going to use it in a biblical reenactment scene.
That's right. Mention the PK Podcast. That's PKPODCAST PODCAST, to the Roman centurion at the iron entryway and receive 40% off your first case of water or wine if you can prove you're going to use it in a biblical reenactment scene.
Try Water into Winery for your next event and drink like a Hebrew. Now back to our show. This episode of the PK podcast. Sorry, I forgot we said drink like a Hebrew.
That too. I forgot it too. Oh boy, that's good. I feel like that was all you, Paul. You wrote that entire script. I didn't have anything.
I don't think drink like a Hebrew was in the script. I think I just said that. Oh my goodness.
Well, thank you to our sponsor.
Yeah, thanks for our sponsors keeping the lights on. We appreciate it.
We can bring this podcast to you guys every other week.
If y'all know any other sponsors, let us know.
Yeah,
We're happy to reach out.
I'm concerned.
Yeah, man, what we're looking for sponsors. You know, this is a PK. You know, we're talking about PKs. It's church business. We want sponsors who are really trying to do God's work in their business. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Not churches.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
Not community centers, but like regular businesses.
Yeah.
They're really trying to zone in and zoom into the church crowd.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's like Water into Winery, man. That was a perfect fit for us. You know?
Yeah. You're looking at a very niche group.
Very niche. Very small. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Oh
it's like,
my.
There's only like 144,000 of them out there. You know what I mean? Like it's a really small, very deliberate, specific group of people that's our target audience here. Like the first one, you know, like when we came across the Truth Shall Set You duty free shop, like we were like, yo, that exactly. Yeah. We appreciate what they're trying to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The Holy Ghost Hunters. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
I have a few. I have a few that
a couple ideas.
Yes. I got a few.
Let us know. We're happy to expand our base.
Absolutely.
Which reminds me, Clay, we need to do more of those. That was our last one that's finished, so we got to do more.
Okay. I'll say less.
No problem.
Say less.
All right. So let's just get back into it here. So how do you feel about not being able to trick or treat on Halloween?
True. Honest answer?
Yeah.
I don't like people that much. I'm good. Yo, so you know, hey, go to crazy. Funny story, man. So, you know, as a PK, you move a lot, right? So one year, I don't know what my parents was thinking. We moved on Halloween. Interesting. We literally moved on Halloween. So we were out there, and this is what we was moving from one part of the Bronx to another part. And while we were moving, you know, dudes was running around the neighborhood throwing eggs and yada yada. And my parents missed us for a little bit because one of us decided to go and throw some eggs too. But that's beside the point. But which one was it? Huh?
Anyway. Which one of the three was the culprit?
Come on now. but like, so Halloween was never like a thing to me, man. Like even to this very day, it's just like, so I'm starting to realize that it's actually becoming a very insignificant holiday. It's in Maryland, it seems very insignificant. Like I remember growing up, I used to see people, you know, on the streets trick or treating. It just doesn't seem. I think holidays in general seem weird.
Well, I think trick or treating in particular feels very unsafe to me. Y'all in the dark, walking around.
Yeah.
No,
I think a lot of communities are offering alternative ways to trick or treat. So like even they'll do like a trunk or treat thing, right? Where parents will pull up in their cars and put candy in the trunks of their cars, and kids will walk around a parking lot. They'll trick or treat in their little parking lot, but we all know each other. But the kids get to dress up and they get their candy, so it's almost like the best of both worlds in a way.
So it's crazy. I feel like once we sanitize holidays or try to make them like super safe, I think they probably kill the spirit of what it was supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? Remember, Halloween was supposed to be like the Purge, where couple crazy guys running around taking people out. That's what I felt like growing up. Like you legit did not want to go out because again, we grew up in the city, so people throwing eggs, toilet paper in the house, whatever the case may be. So that's kind of how I grew up knowing about Halloween. So now it just seems like you're saying, if they doing the where they putting everybody on a roundabout and everybody pick up their own candy, we can do that at Walmart. You know what I'm saying? This
true.
So it's Halloween, whatever.
So if you could describe your personality, Sheldon,
yes,
using only a sound effect, what would it be? What would you choose?
My personality, if I could describe a sound effect. So like a distant, loud scream.
And loud.
Distant, loud scream. So I like making noise, but I like making noise, but I don't like people knowing that it's me.
You like making noise, but you don't want the attention.
Hate the attention. Hate the attention. Hate the attention. So I wrote something for work, and I sent it to Paul, to just get his opinion. The thing that we ended up doing, the play that we ended up doing, and the reason. So now that it's done and everybody's like giving the accolades and all of this stuff, I'd rather have said no. Then
even on the other end of it, even after it's been successful.
Yeah. Even I'd rather have said no. I realize now that I need to write anonymously. I need to write. I need a ghostwriter name, whatever the case may be, because the attention from me, even though I'm telling you, people may look at me and be like, "Yo, Sheldon needs attention." I do not. I hate it. I hate attention. I hate people. I hate people knowing that I did it. It burns me like, dang, why did I let that out the bag?
That's gotta be rough as a PK. It has to be.
It's unbearable.
Yeah, I feel you on that too, because I like feeling appreciated, but I don't want attention either. And I'm talented. Like I can do it myself. And it's like I want to live my life and use my talent, but not if you're going to talk to me about it.
Don't
talk to me about it.
I'm going to acknowledge it's me.
Or if you do, just be like, make it small.
Yeah.
And I feel like for me, being a PK, because people knew who I was, they felt like they had to do too much. I'm like, you don't have to relax.
No, chill.
Just have to do all that. If you just say thank you, I'm like, okay, good,
cool.
Just bringing me up front and making me stand and all that. It's like, no.
No.
Don't do any of that. So again, that just goes to, I guess, people wanting to treat you like a pastor's kid rather than treating you who you actually are, but they haven't taken the time to actually discover who you are or given you the time to discover who you are.
The expectation for people like us to be extroverts is like overwhelming. Yeah. Right? Like the expectation is we're supposed to like being up front. We're supposed to like being in the spotlight. We're supposed to be we're supposed to be good presenters, right? We're supposed to be able to preach because our dads or moms can preach, right? We're supposed to be able to sing because our dads or moms can sing. And I'm not as much of a of an introvert as you guys. I'm actually an ambivert, but I totally get because I have introverted moments or introverted seasons perhaps. I totally get the idea that I can do the thing, but that doesn't mean I want to.
Right.
Or even I can do it and I don't mind doing it. I'll do it, but I don't want to talk about it afterwards. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't want the Bobby said we made up that commercial. You sure, Bobby?
No. That's really
Bobby, I'm gonna send you a Google page for Water into Winery. Watch. I'm gonna send you a case for Christmas. Biblically themed water.
That's actually, we'll talk offline. It's not a bad idea. Anyway, not a bad idea.
Let's go. Hey, I'll help you with the branding. I'm good. I got you.
Yeah. We need a logo and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I totally that makes sense to me. And I guess I wonder if there's a way to, maybe that's why we're doing this, but is there a way to kind of educate people that just because we're in the family, that doesn't mean we want to do that work? You know what I mean? Or we're equipped to do that work even.
Yeah.
So I do a lot, like personality types and this kind of stuff is very interesting to me. So I do a lot of reading about it. I do a lot of research about it. And the more I learn, the more I realize that people move too fast.
Absolutely.
And people think they know all of you because they know a piece of you. So even though you know that I'm an introvert, that's a very small piece of who I am actually.
Absolutely.
People make it all of me, and I'm like, there's so much more stuff. But because you're stopping here, you're not even giving yourself the chance to discover more. So all that information, like, it's really useful, it's really interesting, but it's just a part, it's not the whole. But I don't think people want to take the time to really get to know other people. I don't think people are interested in it, and they don't make time for it because they got other stuff to do.
Yeah,
this is something I actually said to one of my classes just this morning, and I say this kind of frequently. But one of the biggest barriers to learning more about pretty much anything is the idea that we know it already, right? So for example, if we're in church and the pastor's like, all right, we're going to read the text for the day, John 3:16, open your Bible.
Yeah.
What's the likelihood that you'll actually open your Bible? We know it already, so what are we reading it for?
Yeah.
But if we know it already, that means it can't teach us anything else because we're not studying it anymore. So in the same way, if we know something about you, if we know you're this way, or you have this disposition, you have this personality type, we know that, we get to know it, and then, like you said, Claire, it's limiting in some ways to know that, because then we'll stop there. But there's definitely more to it than that. There's definitely more to, clearness than just the introvert piece. Although that's an important piece, but it's not that simple.
So and I appreciate that. Another part to it is I am ever changing, right? I'm not a big moving target, but even in the target, I'm shifting around inside of that, right? So the person that Elaine married is not the person that's sitting here exactly. Right.
Also, that person hadn't raised any kids. That changes everything.
Right. Listen, you've had situations that have changed you.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So and
one of them is named Darius. One of them is named Cameron.
And here goes the beautiful thing about that.
That boy Cameron, man. Woo.
I praise the good Lord above that I have a wonderful wife and these wonderful boys, because they are changing me, right? Because this is okay. Another part of being a PK is a Bible story can pop up at any time in your mind. This I know this is normal, but a Bible story can pop up in your mind at any point in discipline of your children, right? Or just in life. And there's times when I'm about to say something to them, and I'm like, and you should, oh shoot, and I look up. And I'm talking to myself. In the process. And so and somebody said to me the other day, yo, Shell, you sound like your dad. I'm like, shut up. Shut up. I don't sound like my dad. I am not a, but I do. But like, even though I hold my phone, no matter what I do, there's there are things that are like my dad, but I am changing. I am ever moving. So when people think that they know me, hey, Sheldon to do it. You remember that commercial, like that Life cereal commercial, Mikey will eat it.
Mikey will eat it.
He likes it.
Mikey likes it, right? No, I am changing. I have changed. I have, I've moved past this person that was always into everything. I'm now this person that sits back and just chills by himself. And I'm cool with that. I love it. I love the ability to just be able to do things and no one know I exist. I love it, right? But now that it's happening where people are starting to know that I can do these different things, it's becoming uncomfortable. And guess what feeling is starting to come back? I want to leave.
Right. Yeah. Escape.
Yeah. I want to escape. That feeling is and that's what people don't understand about me. That feeling is always so close. It's always so close because oh shoot, I gotta run. You know what I mean? Gotta go. So
fight or flight, you tend towards flight. Like it's
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
One thing you mentioned, and I want to ask Claire about her sound effect here in just a second. I'll give you a chance to think about it.
Oh.
One thing you mentioned that I think is one of the huge benefits that we've experienced, everybody on this screen, and our last guest, John, who's our brother, obviously, to the PK family situation, is just having both parents. And not everybody has that experience. Obviously, not every PK has that experience. But for us, mom and dad,
oh my gosh,
all the time.
Oh my gosh.
From beginning to end.
Oh my gosh.
Massively important. Hugely.
Oh my gosh.
Hugely important. And I'm seeing it now. And I'm sure you see it too, Sheldon, because you mentioned with your kids. Just mom and dad raising these knuckleheads. Mom and you know what I'm saying? Like this junk is complicated. This junk is really hard. This junk is difficult. So just having mom there, and having dad there at the same time, and mom supporting dad, mom arguing with dad, mom telling dad, hey, you gotta do that differently.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because that was the thing. At church, dad is often like I don't want to use the word untouchable, but I think I do want to use the word untouchable. But it's almost like dad is like beyond correction sometimes in the eyes of the church.
Woo!
But that's not the case at the house.
Woo!
Right? At home, that's not the case. So it's like I think that's important. That's important for him. It's important for us. It's important. You know what I'm saying? Like all of that is important. So the influence of both those parents, I think, is just a huge benefit for us.
I love it
in terms of growing up in this environment.
I love it.
All right, we're running short on time. Claire, sound effect. What's your sound effect?
I definitely don't have a sound effect.
You're supposed to get the answer to the question when we say we're going to ask the guest the question.
I didn't know that until this moment. I thought the questions were for the guests. Why would I answer the question? But
if you had a sound effect,
when I think about my personality, I don't know what sound effect this is going to be, but I do think about not realizing that I'm the one doing things until I'm gone. So I do a lot of things, and a lot of people don't realize it's me until I'm not doing them anymore.
Oh,
it's a sound effect. But I like to stay in the shadows. I like to help people out a lot. I'm very much a work behind the scenes kind of person. So things are getting done, and they're getting done so well that you don't even realize they're getting done until they stop getting done.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like, what happened to the?
What happened there? Yeah, I was like, oh, Claire's gone.
Oh, Claire's gone. so that's kind of a double-edged sword, because what that means too is that I can feel taken for granted a lot. But no one knows that I'm doing the thing to actually thank me for the thing. But I don't really want too much thanks. Like, it's you gotta.
Hey, Paul, I apologize because Claire just unpacked something that was so massive, and it's a question that I suggest that you ask other PKs: are you a servant or are you a leader? Because we as the children, we realized that our parents probably needed a whole lot of servants, or when I say servants, like people who just do things, who are the worker bees, right? And especially if you have a small church and you saw your parents ripping and running. So I think naturally because we were help staff for small churches. Hey, who's running sound? Like, even I think John talked about it during COVID. John and Julia were running the entire AV department at one of his churches. And I was there to help and watch and all these different things. But that was us growing up. So like now we do things behind the scenes so much, right? Because we don't want anything to fail, right? So it's it's such an amazing thing that we are like this. We naturally do this, but we want it to be done like this.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Turn the cameras off and I'll do all of it.
Yeah. So anyway,
but also there's an important piece. Like I want to be appreciated at the same time, and I still haven't figured out how to make both of those things happen.
Send them a Cash App.
Get the check to be good.
Put something in my Venmo. We are good, bro.
Get the check. How about this one? This might not be it, but try this one.
What was that? Is that a freaking door?
Yeah. Like you're sneaking out, you know?
Nah.
No?
Yo, look what John says. So maybe your sound effect is whatever sound that poison needle makes from the ninja.
like hearing something go by. I was like, what was that?
Yeah. Exactly.
What happened?
yeah. But yet still that poison needle is very effective.
It's very effective, yeah. And it's gonna actually I actually like that. Except not for killing people, but you know.
Maybe sometimes for
So man, I appreciate this. Y'all gotta keep on doing this, man. And you know, to all the PKs or anybody that's in leadership like this, I think it's important to just hear different perspectives, because we even though we grew up very similarly and you know around each other, I think there are so many stories that are out there that are waiting to be unpacked.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And that will help the next generation. Unfortunately, you know, some of this stuff that we went through still happens, and now it happens on a grander scale because you got social media. So our parents have the new generation of PKs has to be hidden from things, because people are looking at, hey, yo, I saw your son's social media and your son was doing such and such on social media. So now you got to there's so much
increased a lot.
There's so much to this thing, man. So you know, I implore you guys, I implore, keep pushing this, man.
So I got another attempt at Claire's sound. This was not going to work, but I think it's going to be funny. No?
Why?
Not that one.
What movie did you get that from?
That's straight off a RZA. That's a straight off a RZA song.
That's what I was like.
Wu-Tang.
I was like, yo,
he sampled it from a movie, but I don't know what movie it was. I took it off the song.
That's probably Chinese Connection or something like that.
Yeah. Here go my sound.
Taking the sound effects away from you next week.
I'm doing too much.
He got it, man.
I want to end with one last question.
Sure. Yeah.
Oh, we're over. Where are you now in your relationship with your PK journey? Like where does it sit with you now?
I've landed the plane. I think I've accepted it. Mm-hmm. And I'm able to talk about it a whole lot better. I'm even able to tell my parents, but majority my dad. So quickly during COVID, you know, I started, you know, we talked about seeing a therapist last time, right, Claire?
Yeah.
So, you know, people get therapists. Especially. So there was one time, and I think I mentioned it while I was in the chat, where, you know, the first time I was talking to the therapist, she literally said to me, so how you doing? I said, you know what I'm doing? Okay. And I just broke down. And so it literally took about 5 seconds. But I started feeling the pressure of the world. And one of the things that I realized was why I like to run back then. And so after that conversation with her, I went to talk to my dad, and he said to me, he said, you know why they call me Father Going? So one of his nicknames that all of his siblings call him is Father Going, because he was always on the go. So I never understood it. I never understood it. It's not that he was running, but he was always moving because he didn't feel like he had to deal with everything. Right. But I said, yo, dude, how come you ain't help me out, man?
Thank you.
How come you didn't? How come you didn't warn me about these feelings? How come you didn't, get me prepped for this?
Mm-hmm.
And it's not that he couldn't. Well, maybe he couldn't at the time. And now I'm old enough to have the conversations with him about how I was feeling. So where am I now? I'm grateful for the experience. I honestly am. I don't think I would be. If my parents were pastors, I don't know who I would be.
Mm-hmm.
It's a different life. Again, I've come to accept it. I've come to understand it. And this next statement comes with a little bit of church people bother me.
We didn't get to ask you that question. We're out of time. We didn't get to ask you what's the wildest thing a church person has done to you.
Woo, bruh. Yeah,
maybe we'll have you write in next time.
Yeah.
Read your story on the air or something.
There's certain things that bother me, but overall, I love my parents. I love y'all. Listen, and I will say this wholeheartedly: if I never met y'all, man, y'all don't understand, man. Y'all.
That's the thing. I feel the same way. Like the trajectory of my life is so different because of some of the people that I've, gotten close to over the years and stuff like that, and some of the mischief we got into together back then and stuff we didn't get caught for that we should have probably. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, my perspective on grace is just so. I'm so grateful, man, because I mean, it could have gone much different. The stuff that we were, into, it could have gone way different. So
But Bobby said, if your parents weren't pastors, and y'all, because regardless of your dad holding the title,
it's both.
It's both.
Absolutely.
It's both.
It's both.
So, listen, man, love y'all. Woohoo!
Thanks for coming. We appreciate it.
Yeah, man, that was good. It's good stuff. Ran out of time, which is always good.
Yeah.
you do realize if you have me, you, John, Lay, Bob on this all at one time, all six of us,
be 3 hours.
You would not be able to end.
No, it would be 3 hours.
It would not be able to end, man. But
so
much appreciated, yeah. Appreciate y'all.
Thanks, y'all, for tuning in. Like, share, subscribe, tell your friends. Watch the replay. Whatever.
Carry a pigeon.
Yeah.
By the way, these next 4 years is going to be interesting. I can't wait.
Shoot, we didn't even talk about the elephant in the room.
Yeah, he's an elephant. Hopefully his memory goes. But anyway, go ahead.
So yeah, thanks everybody, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.